Hi everybody. Hi, welcome back to the second video in the series of talking about my acoustic neuroma experience from early symptoms, diagnosis, treatment, and now post-treatment. So today I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about what it was like choosing a treatment provider. So I'll walk you through that process and tell you some of the things that I learned along the way in hopes that it'll be helpful for you. This time in my journey was one of great stress, and I had a lot of fear and concern in choosing who I wanted to care for me and what kind of treatment I wanted for the tumor. So let me back up a little bit. So in case you haven't watched my first video, I was diagnosed with an acoustic neuroma, benign brain tumor back in 2018, in August of 2018. And that was found via MRI based on some symptoms that I had of ringing in my ears, fullness, and then hearing loss. As well as some balance issues. Fast forward today, I'm going to talk about treatment options. And one of the things that I was told very early on was to research. And what I mean by that is truly get involved with your own care. Be your own best advocate. Learn as much as you can about the various treatments that are out there for your size tumor and your position of your tumor. We'll go over some of that too, either in this video or my next video. For my tumor, mine was located, towards the back, and it had been pressing on the brainstem. The first physician I saw was here in Austin, and he had recommended what's called a retrosigmoid procedure. And let me just show you what that is. So you can Google retrosigmoid. That's one of the approaches that neurosurgeons perform, and that's going into the back of the skull to remove the tumor. And it has its own set of complications, as I'm sure you'll read about from Dr. Google. The second approach, I'll get back to the details from the doctor I saw here. The second approach is called the translab, and that's going on the side of the head here, making an incision. And that's going in, it's not going in through the actual ear hole, which they told me it was really scary. Oh, they're going to go through in your ear. Oh, wow, like, that's creepy, right? But no. Yes, brain surgery is creepy, but like the idea of somebody putting something in your ear hole is like really weird. Anyway, they go into a tiny hole that already exists in your head, so they just make it bigger and they go in, and oh, it's so simple. I'm making it sound like it's like no big deal. But to me, like, that procedure sounded a lot less scary than the other one. So ultimately I went with that one. I researched the heck out of both of them, and I looked at the statistics, side effects, post-surgery, the risks of each procedure, and I asked my doctors a lot of questions about each one. I highly recommend that you do the same. I recommend that you join the Acoustic Neuroma Association. Their fees go toward empowering patients to make informed decisions, and they will send you a packet, and it's so informative. One of the little books that I got was full of questions to ask each of your treatment providers, and that was super helpful for me because I didn't know what to ask. So I would highly encourage you to join that organization. Okay, so getting back to my visit to the neurosurgeon here in Austin. So I followed along in the booklet that the Acoustic Neuroma Association sent me, and it's a great outline. You ask the questions, and that can feel kind of awkward because, like, I don't know about you, but when I go into a physician's office, I feel very intimidated by, the fast-paced situation of, like, they're in there only for a certain amount of time, and so I felt really pressured, but having this book in my hand and these questions already kind of written out for me was very empowering, and I didn't feel as nervous as I thought I would about it. So I went through my questions, and he did a really awesome job of answering all of them, and he even gave me time at the end to ask any additional questions, which was really great. So that was here in Austin, and so that was my first opinion. And so this doctor was super friendly, super great, awesome bedside manner, and I could see myself having surgery by him, and I felt very comfortable with him. I wasn't ready to make my decision yet, and so I decided that I was going to get 3 to 4 opinions. And so my second opinion was actually in Dallas. And so I went up to Dallas, and I consulted on the phone, and then I actually went in person and did a consult there. And my experience wasn't as positive there. Yours may be different if you decide to go there. You know how we all have our, positive days and negative days. So that might have just been an off day. So I didn't ultimately end up having my surgery there. I went down to Houston and had a consult down at the MD Anderson Cancer Center. Wonderful facility, great doctors, felt extremely comfortable with their expertise, and they did an awesome job of answering all my questions again. They even had the booklets there in the office, which was really great. Highly recommend getting an opinion from them if you're here in Texas. And thirdly, I consulted with the University of California in San Diego, and I did a Skype call with their team, Dr. Friedman and Dr. Schwartz, and immediately I just knew that's where I needed to be. And it was a long way. I wasn't sure how I was going to make that happen. I'll share more about all the logistics and the planning and, oh my gosh, all the stress and how I dealt with all that stress in another video. But ultimately I did go to San Diego, and I received my treatment and aftercare by the team there. We were wonderful. And I spent 4 days in the ICU, and then I spent another, how many days was it? 7 days, 8 days. It's kind of a blur. In San Diego, recovering with my family. And here I am, almost a year out, and I'm extremely happy with my decision to travel for that surgery. I would, again, just recommend that you do your own research and find the best team for you. All right, well, I will hopefully be releasing another video in a week or so stay tuned for that, and feel free to reach out to me. You can find me and the Acoustic Neuroma Facebook group, and I will see you guys later.